your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, we take a look tonight at our Roofing Dog INET Adams Memorial's camera, State Farm Center there. We're looking to the south, and you can see every once in a while a little bit of lightning that is showing up there with storms that are south of the Champaign area right now, and they are putting on quite the light show for those of you down into portions of Douglas County, right on the Champaign and Douglas County line, with numerous thunderstorms that are located down there. Take a look at this area here that runs from, well, near Tuscola, right along Highway 36 through Newman to Chrisman. This has been the target area for strong thunderstorms and a lot of rainfall. Now raining very good in Paris, to Redmond, to Oakland, and a little bit of activity in southeastern Champaign County near the Broadlands area. But just take a look at this 1 hour loop and how these same areas are getting impacted by heavy rainfall and a ton of lightning, as I mentioned. Look at all of the lightning strikes associated. Each little yellow blast there that pops up, that's a new lightning strike, and these are all the lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes in this area. On top of that, we've got flash flood warnings that are in effect. They've actually just issued a new one for portions of Coles County here as well. This whole area has seen an incredible amount of rain here in the last couple of hours. More about what to expect for overnight when we come back. WCIA3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA3 News.
So it's just hard for me personally to stay focused and be motivated for school.
Online classes dominated schools this spring, but what could be in store for students this fall? Internet outages hit several states today. We have what caused it.
Due to the virus going on, the venue actually canceled our wedding.
It's a familiar story because of COVID-19, but this one comes with a twist, thanks to two wedding photographers.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 10.
I really hope that they do start doing more in-person classes.
As college students get ready for the upcoming fall semester, the U of I is preparing its plan to possibly reopen classrooms. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons. U of I's provost announced they're considering doing a hybrid online and in-person system depending on the future impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. But before a final decision is made, the university is asking for people's input. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen has the story.
When the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic began to settle in, University of Illinois staff and students had to adjust to online classes.
I mean, at first everybody was excited, like a longer spring break and just being at home and having to deal with classes online for a week.
A week of online classes turned into the rest of the semester at U of I as the pandemic stretched on. For some students, like Julian Martinez, it was a challenge.
It's just hard for me personally to stay focused and be motivated for school.
He missed the accountability that comes with in-person classes.
So I was really considering just taking junior year off, either off like a gap year or going to another school for that.
A designated team started researching how to approach the next semester. They considered strengths and weaknesses of several options and established a potential plan. The U of I provost says full face-to-face classes are highly unlikely to be an option for the fall, considering health and safety guidelines. Now they're considering a combination of in-person and online classes, but only if students and staff agree to cooperate with all safety guidelines. They'll hold face-to-face instruction where it can have the most impact on students, like labs, performance courses, and peer interaction. In-person classes will stop on November 20th. The beginning of fall break and the last couple weeks, including finals week, will be conducted remotely. If the state hasn't reached phase 4 of the governor's Restore Illinois plan, the university will continue with a fully online format. Reporting, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA3, your local news leader.
An online survey went out so the school can get feedback on the proposed plan from students and staff. They want that feedback by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June 10th. University leaders hope to announce a plan for the fall semester later this month. COVID-19 testing sites across the state reopened for the first time this week, but the one at Champaign's Marketplace Mall was only open until noon. It then shut down because of possible afternoon storms. They only tested 96 people. The 11 state testing sites had not been operating this week because of protests. They will all resume normal operations tomorrow morning. And looking at COVID-19 numbers, Champaign County is announcing 8 new cases. That brings the county's total to 662. 7 people have died, 542 have recovered. Across Illinois, there are 980 new cases, bringing the total to more than 123,000. 97 more people have died. Over 5,600 people have died in Illinois. A pastor in Danville says someone broke into his church and tried to set it on fire. This happened at Bowman Avenue United Methodist Church. The pastor and his wife found 2 broken windows yesterday. Someone knocked a couple things over, put 2 flags on top of the stove, turned the burners on, and removed the dials and knobs. The batteries had also been taken out of the fire alarm.
Really, for me, it's an act of God. I really feel like that's the only reason our church is still here today, because those flags should have caught fire.
Should have caught fire, but they didn't. They did contact police and are grateful they can still have their service on Sunday. Police have a teenager in custody after a Decatur church was vandalized. This happened at the Moundford Free Methodist Church. Police say 19-year-old Brandon Underwood broke windows, discharged fire extinguishers, and damaged TVs, musical instruments, and speakers. They also say he damaged a bus at the Lutheran School Association. Police say they believe Underwood was the one who called 911. They found him at the church covered in blood and only wearing boxer shorts when he was arrested. All 4 officers accused of being involved in the death of George Floyd have now been charged. The Minnesota Attorney General upgraded the charges against Derek Chauvin, who knelt on Floyd's neck, is now charged with second-degree murder. The 3 other officers are charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder, and all 4 have been fired. A Bloomington man is accused of a hate crime. Police say 21-year-old Marshall Blanchard rode his motorcycle into a protest in Bloomington on Sunday, hitting 2 people. One woman went to the hospital for injuries to her stomach. A man went in for a hurt arm. City leaders in Urbana are taking a closer look at how they operate after George Floyd's death. We talked to Mayor Diane Marlin about what they're doing. She says they'll be meeting with the NAACP and state police, and they will also take a closer look at the Civilian Police Review Board. Marlin says restoring the community's faith in the police department will take some time, but she says it needs to happen.
On the whole, our officers are good people with good intentions, and they do their jobs well. But once in a while, you have incidents that don't go as well, and those are the things you need to address.
She says around 1% of Urbana Police's calls result in use of force. One example of that was a shots fired call in April, which you see here. Officers seen on video hitting a woman. Those officers were cleared, but some community members don't feel that was fair. As protests continue around the world, the NAACP is outlining the reforms it says the country must put into place to evoke change. 2 of the reforms include a ban on knee and chokeholds as an acceptable practice for police officers, and cities organizing citizen review boards to hold those departments accountable.
If we don't, what does that say about this man's life to his family, his daughter, his sisters, his brothers, his people, and other people who are fearful, rightfully so, of how we're treated as people, Black people and people of color in this community, in every community around the world.
They are also calling on the United Nations to address police brutality and demand a zero-tolerance approach. Champaign police addressed some rumors circulating social media. There's been talk that looters have hit residential areas and rumors about buses coming from other cities. They say they have not found anything credible to support those rumors, but they also want everyone to know that they are continuing to investigate. It's taking one couple a little longer to reach their happily ever after because of COVID-19, but the road there got a little sweeter with the help of their wedding photographers. Plus, if you noticed your internet was down today, it wasn't just you what caused an outage across the Midwest. And later, one Illinois athlete is still all by himself on campus, but he has a creative way to pass the time.